It's become a familiar sight throughout California, idled sprinklers and parched lawns. The urgent need to conserve water has meant a big-time reality check for the California lawn, leading some residents on a quest to find less thirsty alternatives.
Evergreen, drought-tolerant, tough, deer-resistant. What else could you ask for, right? Yeah.
Horticulturalists Jim Marshall and Del McComb of Suncrest Nurseries in Watsonville are in one of the few businesses to have actually benefited from the state's 4-year drought.
Since 1878, the traditions of this company are to grow a wide range of plants, both California native and many plants from the Mediterranean regions around the world. There are 5 Mediterranean zones in the world, and we have plants from those zones, which include Chile, Western Australia, the Mediterranean region, South Africa, and here in California.
Landscaping trees, shrubs, and other nursery products rank in the top 10 of California crops, with demand increasing as buyers have become aware of the wealth of choices.
So what I did here was gather a collection of plants, a representative selection from the nursery of drought-tolerant and long-blooming, beautiful plants that attract beneficial insects, butterflies. But largely I wanted plants that kind of give the impression and the idea that a drought-tolerant garden doesn't have to be kind of forlorn and barren looking in the summertime, but it can be very rich and full of flowers and have the added benefit of providing food and nectar for our butterflies and bees, etc.
Okay, so drought-tolerant landscaping doesn't have to look drab. But what about the other common concern, that it requires a lot of maintenance compared to a lawn?
Most people don't ever use their lawns, and it's something that you mow weekly, you water sometimes daily. It's a huge resource consumptive activity for very little return. In that same amount of time, you could easily tend a drought-tolerant garden. In fact, it wouldn't even take that much time.
But for many homeowners, making the leap from lawn to landscape is a scary proposition.
It was scary at first, I will admit, taking out the yard. But through research, going through home shows, looking at landscaping, I quickly found out that you can have beautiful plants such as these that produce beautiful flowers and beautiful textures. I had over 500 square feet of lawn that I have taken out. So when I did a rough calculation, it was something like 331 gallons of water that I actually was using just to water the lawn. Do you think it's getting too much water here? Now that I put all these plants in, it's less than 41 gallons. It's the best money I've ever spent.
People come in feeling like they're moving a mountain, but it's not. It's actually fun. It's bringing your creativity, doing a little at a time, realizing that there are options. If you go through a garden center nursery nowadays, you'll notice that probably half to 2/3 of the plants are able to tolerate less water.
How are the plants looking today?
Now, if you decide to take the plunge and pull up that parched lawn, Del McComb has one more important piece of advice.
Doing the planting in a good time of year would be fall in California, because then the weather's still warm, but the winter rains are hopefully coming. And so you get the plants established while it's still warm, take advantage of the winter rains, and by the next spring, you already have a garden that's largely drought tolerant. So we benefit, the environment benefits, and you also don't use much water, and you have a greener, more fragrant, fun world. So that's the new age of gardening.